Well, happy Friday, everybody. This is our Friday financial wrap, and this is 9/11. Obviously, this is a hard day for many of us, and we all remember what we were doing 19 years ago, 9/11. And I was driving north on 95, heading to see clients. I had a lot of appointments that day, and my wife and I was on the phone having conversation back and forth what was happening. Our son was homesick. Um, I remember that night we lived out in the country. We had 3.5 acres, and there was no street lights, and we always looked up in the sky and would see planes all the time. And that night there was no planes. That was the most eerie feeling. Was there was no planes in the sky that night. They shut down the air, the travel. They shut it down. I have a real good friend, Captain Tom, that lost that lost his best friend. That was the airline pilot that went into the Pentagon. Captain Tom always felt, to this day, he felt it should have been him because that was his route up until the last month, and then his buddy took it over, and history is that. But it's a day we'll never forget. And our country, one thing about it united us, and we need to get united again. So hopefully, after this election, good things will happen. The economy will start really kicking up, and people will put things behind them, and we unite as one instead of divided. With that being said, I do want to liven it up a little bit, talk about our birthdays. We have a lot of birthdays. Timothy had a birthday, James, Samuel, Electra. We had Amy, Juan, Cliff, Bruce, Cheryl, Harry, Linda, Charlie, Tom, and Rusty. So birthdays, we had a lot of birthdays this week. We also are having a special guest on our radio show. It's going to be exciting. His name is Jim Bragenberg, and Jim is Mary's brother-in-law, Mary Thompson's brother-in-law, and he's been on the radio for years and years. We're going to talk about values, and what our country needs is values. And really, you want to vote your values, and you also want to, what are your values? Is it charity? Is it family, giving, security? Everyone has their own values, but values we're going to be talking about on the radio station, and Jim will be a guest on our show. Craig Wolf and I will be doing the show, so it's going to be a show you want to listen to. It's going to be something different tomorrow from 9 to 10 on 92.5, so check that out. The markets this week was a little bit shaky. Without a doubt, it was definitely shaky. The good thing about it is that we have we've had a lot of gains over the last few months. So a lot of gains, so as long as we have the gains, we're going to have some volatility. It's going to be up and down until this election. So we just have to tolerate it. Hopefully we have more up than down. That's what we're shooting for there. So this week was more of the down week, continuation of last week too, but hopefully today the market looks like it's going to be doing a little bit better today. So we'll keep an eye on that. If you guys want any adjustments, if you think you feel like you want to be a little bit less equity and more fixed held during the election, that's no problem too. We can talk about it. We'll do a risk assessment again and make changes if we have to. This is the good thing about it is we have portfolios that we can make changes on the fly, boom, real fast if we need to. So a lot of the fund managers are making changes as we speak. They are working the portfolio, so it's totally it is actively managed. So this is the kind of portfolios we want in times like this. Okay, so I want to again just wish everybody a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Again, today's a tough day for everybody, but history, we never forget history, and that's one thing about history. We have to, you can't just throw away history because history makes us aware for the future. So it's so important to remember history, and but until next week, I just want to say you have a great weekend, be blessed, and we'll talk soon.